Take a very deep breath, deep breathing, long inhalation and slow exhalation. Do it once or twice. Relax and close your eyes. Just keep your eyes closed. In case you choose to open your eyes, you can do so, but direct your attention to yourself. And just see these points I'm sharing with you. Just see how effortless, as you have been seeing yesterday, how effortless the meditation is, the being with yourself. Please remember, meditation is not a process, not a practice, but it is your own being, who you are. It is just like seeing, listening. Start with that. Listening is effortless. Listening to a sound needs effort. You have to go near the sound, or the sound can be in a distance where you can hear it, audible distance. But hearing, listening, always there. Sounds go on changing. Seeing is continuous. Seeing an object, those objects go on changing. Seeing is effortless. Listening, effortless. Long before you listen to a sound, you are already listening. Long before you see an object, you are already seeing. Seeing is continuous. Listening is continuous. And what it means is, listen carefully. When you say you are listening, you are conscious at the level of your ears. In case you lose your capacity of listening, the ears go deaf. You can't listen, but you don't become unconscious. A deaf person is as conscious as even a person who can hear. Only difference is when both of you are conscious, one is conscious of a sound, other is not conscious of the sound. So listening is a capacity at the level of your ears. So listening can come to an end, but you can't be unconscious. Seeing is continuous as long as eyes are there. You can close your eyes, but you don't become unconscious. A blind can never see, but is never unconscious. Thus, you can see. Being conscious is universal, continuous. There is no shift. You can shift from your ears to eyes, eyes to tongue, tongue to your taste, smell, smell to touch. But conscious you are all through. You are listening to the speech, conscious. No speech, conscious. Your ears can hear, you are conscious. Ears can't hear, you are still conscious. True to the perception, there can be thought of a sound, thought of a sight, and you are conscious. No thought, a sound or a touch or a taste, you are still. The consciousness is just a name. Who you are is a nameless being. Thought or no thought, name or no name, your sense of being is never taken away. As even to see, you don't have to struggle. But to see an object, you put both effort. To listen, in listening, there is no struggle. But listening to a sound, sound must be at an audible distance. But you are never away from listening. To be conscious, you don't need a thought. To listen, or to see, or to hear, to touch, to taste, anything. consciousness, yourself, is not a sense experience. The ears cannot hear it. As Kathopanishad will say, asabdam, asparsham, arasam, agandham. Arupam is not a sound. You don't need the ears to hear it. It's not a touch. Skin cannot grasp it. Not a sight. The eyes can't grasp. It's not a smell. The nose can't grasp. It's not a taste. The tongue cannot grasp. So it's not a sense object, nor it is a sensation. And therefore it's not a thought either. The sense organ provides two things. Please see that. Sense organs, your ears, eyes, skin, tongue, nose, they help in two things. In perception and sensation. And that ends in a thought. Who you are is not an object of perception. Therefore, there is no sensation. There is no thought. It is not a sensation. It is not a thought. So you can't wait for it. Makes it so simple, effortless. There's no need to wait. As even the capacity to see, hear, taste is continuous. Being conscious is continuous. The capacity of the senses can come to an end. Ears can go deaf. Eyes can go blind. But the deaf continues to be conscious. The blind is as conscious as the man with eyes. So we see the effortlessness. Your being who you are. Effortless, ever existent. Thus being with your own self. All the declarations of the scriptures, Upanishads, become crystal clear. As we saw yesterday, Jananna Pina Janati. Knowing he does not know. Pashyam navina pashyati. Seeing, he doesn't see. Listening, he doesn't listen. Living, he is not alive. Dying, he is not dead. The eyes perceive. Eyes go blind. You illumine the capacity to see as well as the incapacity to see. You are always there. See the simplicity and the effortlessness of it. There is nothing special about it. Most people will imagine to be one's own self, to be the meditation, as though a specialized experience, a specialized sensation, a specialized feeling inside. There is nothing special about the all-pervasive. Like the silence outside. Everybody talks about exotic sound. Nobody says exotic silence. There is nothing exotic about silence. Anybody can be one with it. There is something exotic about sound, and everybody cannot produce those sounds. This is the way, exotic sound. And this is the silence. Because sunshine, you are conscious. And rain, you are conscious. The rain stops. The sound stops. Silence always there. Perception stops, sensation stops, awareness always there. Thought stops. The pictures inside vanish. Consciousness there. Please see these things very clearly for yourself. How simple, direct, immediate it is, and totally effortless. You don't have to do anything about it. The best part of it is because you, being the subject, who you are always there, even before the perceptions begin. You see that. As I told you while discussing, listen. This listening is continuous. Sound can stop. Listening means, already I have told you in 2-3 classes before, listening means to be conscious at the level of your ears. So you can hear. A deaf person means incapacity. Can't hear, but is not unconscious. Now see. Since you are not a sound, who you are is not a sound, ears are not needed for you to be yourself. Ears are not needed to recognize it. Okay. When the ears don't need to recognize it, don't hear it, eyes don't have to see it, skin doesn't have to touch it, in the absence of being a perception, it is also not a sensation. Your perceptions will bring sensation. Consciousness is not a sensation. A thought is not a sensation. Listen carefully, it's so beautiful. With the average individual, all of us, even while growing up, we become perception oriented and much more sensation oriented. So most people will equate happiness with sensation. You listen something nice or flute in the middle of the night, oh, it's so nice, so nice, sensation. Somebody shouting, oh, come and save me, I'm attacked, help me, sensation. So one is very pleasant, other is very painful. You touch something soft like a flower. Oh, so nice. Fire, ooh. Sensation, orientation. You equate sensation with happiness. Now when you become religious, you start equating sensation with meditation. So everybody say, when I was sitting in meditation, oh, what is that? Oh. It's not a sensation of it seeing, touching, tasting, smelling, taste, that kind. It's not a sensation of touch or a taste or a smell or a sight, no sensation. And as even when your eyes see, it can be either a sensation or it can end up as a thought. You see the flower, can end up as a thought. So the product of any sense object, it is not the product of a sense object. It's not a product of a sense organ coming in touch with sense object. When a sense organ comes in touch with sense object, a thought is created. That is why even the Upanishadic studies will be useless, because it is the ear listening to the description producing thoughts. So you become familiar with the concepts, words, but you don't know what it is. Understand? You understand? It becomes another sensation. You are listening. Previously you are familiar with law of physics, chemistry, mathematics, history, geography. Now you are familiar with the Brahman, Atman, God, consciousness, or you are conditioned to believe there is no God, no sees, there is a heaven, after death, all that. That is where comes conflict within, because a thought versus the thought. You had those thoughts, now you are picking up new thought. It's like somebody says, you are a rascal, you don't like it. Somebody says, you are so sweet, you like it. Then the person changes. You don't like the person. Even when he says sweet, you love the person. What a rascal, so sweet. Everything changes. That is why people go upside down, because thought. So please see that, who you are is not a sense object, not an object that can be objectified. Therefore, sense organs are redundant. For you to be yourself, you don't need the eyes, or else blind men cannot be enlightened. To be yourself, you don't need ears, or else no deaf person can be awakened. It's not a thought, or else no uneducated person can be aware. See how sweet it is. Accessible, stupid word. We don't have to access it. Before we access it, has reached us. That's me, that's you. Therefore, totally free from dependence on any kind. So you, as you sit down, in the beginning stages, it is needed just to, until it becomes very effortless, you consciously observe. Because it is unconscious observations, unconscious perceptions, unconscious sensations, unconscious conclusions which have confused us. The blessing part, listen carefully, the blessing of it is, the unconscious conclusions can be there for millions of years, but the moment you are conscious, boom, it goes. Like there can be darkness of million years in the cave. You strike a match, it will not take million years for the darkness to go. Match, strike the match, boom. No million years of darkness, so million years it takes for the light to come. No, light. And once you see what is in that cave, even when the darkness comes back, you don't miss. You have seen it once, no? So sweet. Once you see, there is no question of losing sight of it. Yes, there can thoughts arrivals, thoughts departure, that will continue. It's like this weather today. How beautiful. Did you organize this rain? Anybody organize this cloud? It comes, goes. Sun is shining continuously. Understand? Same thing in your being, who you are. Having seen it, thereafter you use your thought. That's why. Please read these verses, we shall see. Many, many interesting stuffs coming. Please read that. Because if I don't take the books also must finish. No. You don't need books, but what to do. So sweet. Read. Verse number 90 onwards. Janan, okay, 89 onwards. Sarvatra navadhanasya akinchid vasanarudhi Yuktatmano vitruptasya Tulana kena jayate Janannapi na janati Pashyannapi na pashyati Dhruvannapi na cha brute Purnyo nirvasanakrite Bhikshurva bhupatirvapi Yo nishkama sashrovate Bhavishu galita yasya Shobhana shobhana matihi Bhikshurva bhupatirvapi Yo nishkama sashrovate Bhavishu galita yasya Shobhana shobhana matihi. It's an amazing language, and it's all your description. Yesterday, for me, I simply relax and boom, boom, some thought keeps coming. It's such an exciting world. I immediately write it down. You don't sit down doing things, just see, go on looking at it, automatically boom, it all happens. So for you, for everybody is like that. Only thing is, if you are stuck only on my brother, my husband, my wife, my child, my donkey, my car, my this, that much is like inside the circle, your thoughts will be around only those things. But suppose you step out and you revel in yourself, then what happens is your thought gets a naturally different dimension. Naturally. Because you can think only about things that you know. Sometimes you may accidentally step out, but usually from your memories, permutation combinations, thoughts will be coming. That is why it's so important to know about yourself. You can't imagine. Understand? Know about yourself. And once you are aware of yourself, there is no resistance to any thought whatsoever. Neither you say it must be there or it must not be there. They are there, let them be there. Not there, not there. The absence or presence of anything makes no any difference whatsoever. Udetu patatu vadeha. Whether the body is falling or body is alive. Thought is rising, thought is setting. Something is around, something is not around. A sound is there, touch is there, everything is there, beautiful. Nothing is there, excellent. It's amazing stuff. When you see that, one very beautiful idea came to my mind. You see this National Geography. I love that animal channels. I love animals, wildlife, anybody loves. These wildlife pictures are so fantastic. Why so? Because they go around. BBC and all these fellows, what do? They go around. They show us the picture which they have gone around the world. For one little shot, they might have taken 3 months waiting. 4 months hanging on the top of a tree. Putting up a tree house and sitting there for days together. Just to catch the eagle coming and feeding the baby. They must have spent months and months together to see the elephants, all these things, you know it, right? But what do? We want to go there to the forest and see National Geographic photograph immediately. Anyway, why we like that? Because they have gone and they showed it to us. Why so beautiful. But after seeing it, yes, we are exhilarated, but also there is a sense of loss. What is that? I don't think I can go to Alaska. I don't think I can go to Amazon. I don't think I can go to Great Barrier Reef. So difficult to go to Peru, Lima and Costa Rica. So difficult to go to Nagaland inside or the equatorial forest. That type of feelings can come. Listen carefully. Whereas in these, in the classes and these verses, they are the word pictures collected from the land of the Absolute. What I am talking to you, I bring the pictures from within. And you are excited about it because it touches you. But there is one difference. When you see the Amazon, there may be a sense, I don't think I can go there. When you listen to the descriptions of the absolute freedom, happiness, joy, fulfillment, you know it is you. You don't have to travel to Alaska to match the picture in your head with the object outside. People are hunted in life. They get destroyed in life because they want to match the thought with the object. Listen carefully. You think, this is my object of happiness. Listen carefully. Do you think, this is my object of happiness? You have already concluded, this is my object of happiness. Now, the thought has come. Thought you have created, this thought of the object. It can be a living thing, gold, diamond, a man or woman, or a non-living thing, gold, diamond, this particular model, that particular model, is a picture. What the people do? They struggle to match the thought, picture with the object. If it is an inanimate object, you can purchase it, get it. You make money, get it. If it is animate object, you can be a multi-millionaire, but a man can destroy you or a woman can destroy you because she is not interested in you or he is not interested in you. You can be emperor, you can go crazy. Because it doesn't match. Because happiness for the average person is matching the thought with the object. They must come together so the thought disappears. When you listen to this absolute happiness, fulfillment, nothing to match. That is why there is no struggle. But suppose you make meditation a picture of what? Rainbow inside, body shivering outside, or two eagles must be fighting, therefore, you are continuously waiting to match your expectation with something. You shall be disappointed. And in case somewhere, somehow, it is such a, however impossible, suppose by some chance or some fluke, it matches. It will not last forever. Again you are disappointed. Then what shall you sit down? What shall you say? When I was in the Himalayas at 4 o'clock in the morning, by the side of the Ganges, yes, that was the moment. So just like a child telling the mummy's food was the best. The balloon that I had in my when I was second standard, the first chocolate I tasted, These excitements, this so-called so-called enlightenments will be some pathetic memory. Don't you think it's lucky that is not a sensation? When you listen to this, it's like bringing the pictures from the land of infinity, and it is everywhere. These books, these pictures are simply beauty. You see this very, very clear. It's your picture. It's you described here. In a wildlife photography, the photographer will be always specialist and you are always the consumer. In the absolute photography, you are the subject, you are everything. That is why there is no sense of distance. Even if you like me, I am the photographer from the Amazon, you beg me, what you saw, can you show me? Okay, come. Then I have to carry you, you have to come with me, you have to go there. I can take you to the forest, but I can ask the macaw to come and do the same display. Cannot. Impossible. Whereas in case of this, I don't have to take you 1,000 miles, not even 1 inch. You close your eyes, I am closing my eyes, we are together. I open my eyes, you open your eyes, we are together. See the beauty, how nice it is. So the togetherness in that makes the mankind one, universal. But your togetherness is, I hold your hand, you hold my hand. So if somebody else is touching your right hand, I will shoot him. Why? Mine, exclusive. Beautiful. Or if I am tired of you, I don't want you to touch again. Put the guilt trip. So when you wanted, you got it. When you did not want, you don't want it. Wow, 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 wow. Wonderful. What happens? People are destroyed. Only there. Even this teaching also is like that. You go and the other day I was telling somebody, one person came and told me, Swami, what is this jealousy? I said, why are you asking this question? He said, no, my teacher told me that you should never be jealous. I said, do you want to have some fun? Do you want to have some fun? He said, tell me, what is that? I said, go on. I'll explain to you. I'll tell you explaining. And I did tell him explanation. Then I said, tomorrow you go to your teacher and tell him, sir, you gave a discourse on jealousy, but yesterday I met a guy on the road. Don't tell Swami or this or that. Just tell, on the road I met a guy. And he was so crystal clear. I don't think anybody can give better explanation. And see whether the person is jealous or not. He will say, get out of my sight. How can there somebody better than me? You know where from compassion comes this morning, this idea? You know where from this compassion comes in the wise man? You understand? You see that spreads. If you don't grasp it, raise your hand. There is no question of not grasping it. You are it. You will see how it is fantastic. First thing, understand compassion in a smaller way. You know how to read and write. Read this book, Nirmama Sovadedhira Samalokshtasma Kanjana Suvinnardaya Granthi Vinirdutarastama. Very quick. Now, I am teaching you Sanskrit. Read it. Is it ni? Nirmama. Nirmama. Sovate. Now when you are doing, shall I laugh at you? Or I am like you, like a mother and father, you are teaching the children, and the child is struggling like this. Are you laughing at the child or you are compassionate, kind? Baby is learning now. Wow. You have mastered it. You have mastered the learning. Still he is a slave of it. He doesn't know how to learn. Are you getting that point, please? Why the compassion comes naturally for a wise man? Because when the wise one is the master of every emotion, he sees other people slave of one emotion or the other. You can't be angry with a slave. Tatha manapamanayo samam tulya ninda stutirimoni tatha manapamanayo. The wise person, tulya, same in a ninda stuti. Somebody praises him, somebody hates him, disgraces him. Mana apamanayo tulya. Somebody respects, somebody disrespects. Both are same for him. So he has mastered the emotion of respect and disrespect. Average person is a slave of respect. If you give him respect, disrespect, get angry. That means what? He is reacting to every emotion. Do you understand the point? So he is a slave of emotion. You are the master of emotion. So that person, average person, is the slave of your slave. Do you understand that logic? He is the slave of your slave. Anger, hatred, jealousy is my slave. Because anger doesn't overtake me, hatred doesn't overtake me, love doesn't overtake me, respect doesn't overtake me, disrespect doesn't destroy me. So each emotion is like just an emotion. They are there to serve you. Whereas the other person is the slave of an emotion. Are you getting that point, please? He's a slave of an emotion. When you have conquered anger means anger, he's not conquered, this is a bad word. I don't like these words, conquering and what conquering? Oh, he is the one who has won over the sense subject. Hey, don't give that much loaded and stupid statement. Do you know why? To say you have won over the sense subject, there must be a fight between you and the object. Tell me, when did the object put up a fight? When did the object put up a fight for you to win over the rasgulla? Win over the laddu or the chocolate or the drinks or the drugs? When did the drug said, I'm fighting with it, I'm going to get in, I'm going to get in, I'm going to get in, do you know? No, you can't get in, you can't really. When did they do that? Oh, winning over the senses, Jitendriya, is the one who is won over, conquered his sense organs. When did the sense organs fight with you? When did the eyes tell you, take me to the movie today? And yours told you, take me to the music concert, or else. Did your tongue tell you, take me to the Thai restaurant, or else? Did your nose told you, take me to that wildflower display in Himalayas? Did your eyes say, take me to that sunrise, sunset or some Miss Universe, Mr. Universe? When did they fight? Please see. Yesterday I told you, innocence. Never. I was a slave, now I am a master. In my ignorance, I didn't know. I thought, I equated, I made the objects as embodiment of happiness. I equated sensation as happiness, completely not knowing that I am the happiness, that's my nature. So when I see this very, very clearly, then what happens? The presence of the object, absence of the object makes no difference. Since there is no dependence on any object for your happiness, nobody can make you angry. Why? What is the anger? Whoever deprives you of things that you don't want. Is there anything you want? No. Then who can deprive you of anything? You understand? Simple stuff. You can deprive me of something only if I want it. Suppose you say, this is mine, take it. This is not yours. I know, it's not mine. Now what do you do with that person like that? Oh, what a rascal you are. Yes, I'm a top class rascal. But you are so wonderful. Yes, some people say that. Because it depends on your perception of the relative stuff. Who I am, beyond good, bad, right, wrong, it will come. So when I am not a victim of anger or hatred, no emotions can ever touch me. So all the emotions serve me. I use them. So what is used by me is your master. How shall I look at you? With hatred or compassion? What you have already learned, your child is learning. Is there pride in you in relation to your child? Help him. Help the child to grow up. Help the child. Because you were what your child is, where your child is. And your child will be where you are. So what's the big deal? Compassion comes naturally to the wise man. Naturally. Be the compassionate one. What nonsense. The more you try to be, the more when you are trying to be compassionate, what does it mean? When you are trying to be compassionate, you shall have a sense of superiority. Why? And by chance there is nobody for you to be an object of compassion, you don't know what to do now. Because for you to serve everybody, there must be poor people, no? So all this service organization means what? Poverty must be perpetuated, or else service organization has no meaning. So the religion that thrives on service, you must feed the hungry, but there are no hungry people. You must clothe the naked, but there are no naked people. Everybody has clothes. You must provide the roof to the roofless, but everybody has a roof. Religion is gone down the drain. That's not the job. Compassion is not a trait. Compassion is your being. Like meditation is not a practice. Meditation is being. Call it meditation, call it compassion, call it love, call it freedom, call it absolute joy, call it anything you like. It's a nameless thing. That's your being. So this is your picture. We bring in from the land of the landless, land of the nameless. You listen to it. Not bad. So you want to see the original. Where should you go? You see the Amazon landscape? In the picture, you want to see the original. Where should you go? Go to Amazon. You see the picture of Himalayas or the Alps, French Alps, Swiss Alps. To see the original, where should you go? There. Now, see if you listen to yourself, and these descriptions or the teaching is the pictorial presentation of your being who you are. To see the original, where should you go? You are. If unconsciously, teaching means information orientation, so you are somewhere, you pick up this idea, oh, there is one thing, absolute, all-pervasiveness, then you, where is the original? Book. Mahadeva. So first you heard, now you are reading a book. The book is not original. What you heard from somebody about a book, you think that book is the source of the truth? The book is not the source of the truth. The thought is the source of the truth. The truth of the writing. And the thought has a source. You are the source of the thought. Absolute knowledge, self-knowledge, being yourself. Yes, If it comes to physics, chemistry, mathematics, history, geography, all that is talked about there is outside, objects are outside. When you talk about yourself, where should you go? That is why, as I told you, the compassion, you understand that point. Compassion is very natural. Because when you have mastered this anger, hatred, jealousy, not angry with the anger, not frustrated with frustration, not jealous with the jealousy, not happy with the happiness, none of this stuff. Neither happiness overtakes you, unhappiness destroys you. There is no such thing. You see other person succumbing to emotions. Anger overtakes, hatred overtakes. When you have mastered the fear, the other person is slave of the fear. Holds respect in happy, being rich is the ultimate. What can you tell him? Being poor is useless. What can you tell him? Poverty and riches have nothing to do with your being absolute. Being educated, uneducated. Being rich or poor. Being black or white, green or yellow. Man or woman, young or old. Veg, non-veg. If I tell like this also, many people will not like veg, non-veg. Oh, vegetarians have the special right for the absolute knowledge, really. This is dangerous. Do you know why? Because people will not take it. You have to be selective. It will come later on, amazing things comes with. To the school and come back. Why? Or else child will not grow up. Even if the student becomes dependent, the teacher will not encourage that dependence. Because in the process, the person must grow up. See the truth in himself. Because after all, he is the truth. Every person is the truth. So that is why it is so beautiful. He says, it doesn't matter, sir. Once you see that mukta atmana vitruptasya tulana kena jayate, one who is mukta atmana, mukta atma, self that is absolute freedom. Absolute freedom. There is no fear of anything. Ask yourself. One who has mastered the fear sees another person who is afraid. Shall he hate him or be kind? Don't worry. Grow up. Understand? Such beauty. That is why in Indian tradition, when you go to the temple, this is the mudra. Mudra is Abhay Mudra. This is the posture. Come, surrender, I will protect. Meaning, when the student comes in, nobody gives him a sense of helplessness or guilt. You stupid, I don't think you can get it. Go. You smoke? Yeah, no chance. Non-vegetarian? No. Garlic? Finished you are. Married? Finished. Divorced? Out. What rubbish! Your interest in the scriptures, the whole tradition, the interest is to tell you who you are. There is an amazing story, Satyagama Javala. Javali is the mother. The baby, the young man goes to the teacher. And the teacher naturally asks, who is your father? What's your introduction, identity? Who is your mother? Who is your father? Who is your father? The fellow says, I don't know. Because he has never seen his father. So he goes to mother and says, Mama, mother, the teacher wants to know who is my father. She said, son, I don't know. I have worked for very many masters. Upanishadic story. I have worked for many masters. I really don't know who your father is. The person comes back and tells, my mother has worked in many places. She doesn't know who the father is. The Rishi moved and said, your name is Satyakama. You are absolute honesty, truthfulness. He didn't say illegitimate. Get lost. No. Depraved, drunk, demoralized, destroyed, degenerate. These words don't exist. Because who you are counteracts every one of your great qualities as well as stupid qualities. You are sattvic, dump it. You are tamasic, dump it. You are brightest, dump it. Don't be proud. I am dullest, don't worry. You are the sunshine. It's not a positive thinking. Positive thinking means what? Imagine what you are not. That's positive thinking. This is not imagination. This is the reality of your being. You prove you are stupid, I'll prove you are absolutely wonderful. No, Swami, I am very old. You are old and your body is old. I am the youngest man. Your body is young, boy, wait 10 years. Who knows? In 1 year also you can move. Who knows? Think of it. One brain stroke, 40-year-old body, 79. One paralysis stroke. Some nonsense somewhere happens, your skin goes black, out. Or your skin goes pure white. What happens? This is the beauty of these studies, please. Mukta, not dependent on anything whatsoever. That is why if a teacher says, I shall make you free, he shall make you dependent on him. This book will make you free, they will make a book on the dependent. That is why people hit a book. This is the book, this is the person, this is the thing. Give me a break. By depending on something, can I be independent? What type of logic is that? By depending on something, can I be independent? Who you are is not a thing, is not a thought, not an object, not an expression, not a perception, not a sensation. Nothing that the word can describe. It's not even a word. Sada mukta tasmat janannapi. While knowing, he doesn't know. Pashyannapi na pashyati. Seeing does not see. Bhagavad Gita, Pashyan, Shunnan, Spushan, Jigran, Asnan, Gachan, Swapan, Swasan. If you go on describing, how many books will go over on that only? Seeing, he does not see. So how many activities? Doing. So make it doing. How many types of doing? Seeing, touching, riding, climbing. You understand? Never ending. For everything, so the teacher have to say everything. If you are smart, one is given. You grab the whole thing. Seeing, he doesn't see. It's like X factor. Doing, he doesn't do. Doing what? You put. That is why when there is total acceptance, the person who is stuck, these are the right thing to be done, becomes a vigilante, witch hunting. That should not be done, or this should be done. That is equated with wisdom. Wisdom equated with an action, wisdom equated with a perception, wisdom equated with a dress. This is not the exclusive privilege of any person, because you are it. I hope you understand that. When you talk about privilege, what does it mean? Think. You are going for a show, a music show or Olympic games, or some game somewhere. Some people are privileged, VIP, and this ticket, that ticket, that ticket, that ticket. This is show outside, VVIP. For your thoughts to be seen by you, who has the access? To your thought, who has the access? To your world, who has the access? Somebody can touch the wealth that you have. Somebody can touch your body that you have, the things that you have on your body. Can somebody touch your thought? What to talk of yourself, the awareness. Nobody has the access, only you have the access. And you want to have the access to me, you touch yourself, you shall touch me too. That is the beauty. That is why to be one with the teacher means what? It's like a very simple thing you can take. You are like a child, you might have played. You standing only 2 feet, your shadow is 10 feet. Touch the shadow's head, the shadow also moves. How do you touch the head of the shadow? You touch your head, and the shadow is touched. How do you touch the whole universe? Touch yourself. You want to have the access into everybody? Be the self. Who you are, who I am, is one and the same. But I can't have access to your thoughts and memories. Good. Is it not nice? Suppose one monkey comes and says that I can see your thought, get lost. Suppose I can, somehow, if so happens, I can read all your thoughts. Will you come? Will you come? You know how wonderful thoughts you have in your head. Everybody, think of it. God has given us a supreme privacy that nobody has access to our thought. Today, do you know why the whole world is destroyed? Because I put everybody, you know what you are talking to today, what he is doing, you put that. Then now everything, he taking money from somebody. Think. Nobody can deny you the access there. So where is the question of somebody telling that I shall give you this? It's all yours. Or can somebody say I can take away from you? Nobody can take away. No thought can dismiss it. No perceptions can dismiss it. No sensation can cloud it. Nothing can ever touch it. Untouched. Effortless existence, like space. That is why in Bhagavad Gita, what is it? Nainam chindanti shastrani, where no swords can cleave it, cut it. Nainam dahati pavaka, the fire cannot burn it. Na sosayati maruta, the breeze cannot blow it. The water cannot soak it. No engine of destruction can ever touch it. Achidyoya, madaya, aklidya, associated, uncuttable, it's unblowable. You know, it's a funny English word you have to bring in. Uncuttable, unblowable, unburnable. Okay? Nothing can do it anything. It remains as it is. Why? Because nothing can touch it. No thoughts can take it away. Neither a thought can invoke it, produce it. So you go to the original picture, you listen to an idea, so where is the source? Book. You go to the book. Book is idea. Book is the source. The person who put in the book, his source is, it may be another person, but somewhere the first person is thought. And where from the thought came? From yourself. So what is the source? Eternal source. So all these are pictures, okay? But if you become an addict of animal channels, sitting down, you are Wildlife enthusiast from the bed. Animal Planet, National Geographic, Discovery. On the bed. You will never enjoy it. You will have a sensation of something. But if it is not there, electricity fails, your enthusiasm goes. And at one time, you can't do it anymore. Listen friends, same thing. If you become an enthusiast of collecting photographs and informations, books, ideas, thoughts, one day you will be tired. You should be able to listen and be. Don't listen, be. Have a thought, wonderful. No thought, wonderful. That is why the teaching, the whole attempt is not to make the person dependent on the teaching or the teacher or the book, but help you to go back to yourself as to who you are. Sometimes it will be little tough also. Like a mother, the child doesn't want to leave the mother going to the school. But the mother knows it is painful. Mother can cry later on, but pushes the child. A style. So wisdom means one long line. Wisdom is 3 flat lines. Wisdom is this fancy cloth. You will be learning the lesson of your life. Behind the, understand, in a terrorist, a policeman, a terrorist can come in the uniform of a army man. It's not the external symbols, not the activity. Somebody can impress you. You see within for yourself. Don't be impressed by the beauty of this body or the ugliness of the body. Don't be impressed by the thoughts, things that you have. You can have impression, nothing wrong in that also. But don't depend. It's not dependable. Being himself. Bruvannapina brute. Speaking, he doesn't speak. Konyo nirvasanat. Who is the person like this who is free from all vasana? Listen carefully. Nirvasanat, who is feeling free from all vasana. Vasana means what? The moment you say vasana, light burns up. So many impressions we have, So these are all bad, right? First understand the meaning of the word vasana. Shankarananda writes in the commentary also very nicely. Vasana nama bhogajanya samskara. Vasana means bhogajanya samskara. Listen carefully. Impressions born out of bhoga, perception, enjoyment. Can you imagine the fragrance of this flower if you have never smelled it? When you smell it, what is that? Now it is filed. This samskara remains, the impression remains long after the actual experience is over. Long after the actual experience is over, still a thought remains to remind you of the experience. That is vasana. Like a simple example, you got onion. Have you got onion? You got onion. But careless that you are, you don't clean your hand. Then when somebody comes, hello sir, when you are excited, hello, like that. Then that fellow, something, his nose was running, he puts it in. What is this? This onion stink? I didn't touch the onion. There is the host is like, so you can't tell the host. What does it mean? The onion is caught 2 hours before, but the stink continues. And when the moment that comes up, the experience comes back. This is bhogajanya samskara vasana. Vasana also in local, our language, vasana also, the fragrance, we call it, any, but it's an impression. So every one of us have lot of vasanas. Why? Whatever we experience, impressions are filed. You see, you hear, you touch, you taste, you smell. Suppose you say, every vasana must be removed for you to be enlightened. Now, I will choose to have the vasanas and keep the enlightenment somewhere. Because once all the vasanas go, where am I now? All that you remembered, please forget and try to get up. What a headache. By chance somebody is enlightened, he is paralyzed one place. What? Mentally paralyzed. What happened? No thought. So where do you want to go? What's your name? So this mental paralysis, wisdom. Right? For God's sake. So then what is this talking nirvasana? Nirvasana means impressions are there. You are not under the spell of it. That there is a laddu, listen, that there is a laddu, that there is a sweet, that there is a chocolate, that there is a gold, that there is a diamond, is not a problem. Your that is the problem. You are going towards it. Does the laddu call you? Come. Does the laddu call you? Did the chocolate? Come. Bottle drags you or you drag the bottle? Swami, you don't know, bottle dragged me. Really? Oh, Swamiji, but the bottle is different. A person, man or woman is different, you know. That person only told me. Really? They can tell. Suggestion is given. Taken or not taken is your choice. Suggestion is given. Somebody can come and tell you, I hate you. Thank you. He hates me, so what's wrong? Why everybody must love me? He sees something in me which is because he hates me. So it's fine. So, what I have made a slave of, I have made the hatred a slave in me. My slave is his master. So shall I be angry with him or shall I be kind with him? I have mastered the hatred. If people hate me, I don't care. I don't hate anybody. When I don't hate anybody, doesn't mean nobody will hate me. Hatred, I have mastered. I have no problem with hatred. But the other person is still a slave of hatred. Shall I be kind with him or? I am not jealous of the person, but the person is jealous of me. Shall I be kind with him? When he is jealous of me means what? He is a slave of his own jealousy. Please see, it's very simple and sharp, because you can miss it. You don't understand. When you say you are jealous, you are not jealous of somebody. You are the slave of your own thought. Your so-called attraction, distraction, anger, hatred, jealousy, fear. You are a slave of your own fear. That is why you are afraid of the thing, object of your fear. If you are fearless inside, happiness inside, afraid of what? Either afraid to lose, nor afraid to gain. You understand? Afraid to be or afraid not to be? To be or not to be? Hamletian conflict. Never resolves in human beings. To be or not to be? Why are you struggling? This is ignorance. Indecisive. But what about the wisdom? To be and not to be. Just remove that or, make it and. To be, yes. And not to be, yes. Not to be or not to be. To do or not to do. To see or not to see. To read or not to read. To hate or not to hate. To be happy with others or not to be happy with others. You don't need anybody outside from. You don't need anybody from outside to torment you. Some Satan sitting down with some thread, some horns and all nonsense, with a spike and all that. You don't need none of this rubbish. You are good enough, self-persecuting, self-destructive, self-deluding, self-persecuting person. To do, not to do. No. who I am. Understand? This is the beauty in this wisdom. That's why there is no more fear of vasana. Fear. There are thoughts, all the thoughts, but I don't succumb to them anymore. Is it nice? No, think of it. Which is nice? Tell me. Just think of it. Not to have a headache, shall you cut off your head? Or let the head be there, even if headache comes, I will manage it. That is our vasana. Remove everything, like remove your head. What nonsense! Let them be there, but I know how to manage it. The car is there, is a headache. So the monkey sold his Ferrari. I mean, monk sells his Ferrari, right? Why should he sell your Ferrari? Let it be there. It's not a load on you. There, I want to use it, fine. I don't want to use it, let it be there. I want to sell it, why not? I rent it. I donate it. Ignore it, let it be there. I live. Why should I sell this thing and go? I am just going to the forest. Why? It's all right. Oh, nobody can tell you anything. You understand the point? That's Ishvara. That freedom is infinitely incomprehensible. Ignorant person cannot comprehend it. That is why. Read the next one. Bhikshu va bhupati va. In a language. Bhikshu va bhupati va. Whether you are a beggar in the street, Bhikshu. Bhikshu is a beggar in the street. Or Bhupati, you are the emperor of the universe, of the world. Bhupati, you are the master of this earth, the king of this earth. You own everything or nothing. You are nishkama sa shobhati. It doesn't matter whether you have a role as a king of this world or you have chosen to be a beggar in the street. Whoever nishkama, who is no more tormented by a thought, vasana, desire, object, such a person shines in glory. It's not what you have, it's not what you don't have, but no more you are attracted or dependent on the presence of object or the absence of object. Manasija paritushte ko dhani ko daridra. Beautiful language it comes. When the person is happy with himself, manasija paritushte, when the mind is at rest with himself, ko dhani ko daridra. Who is rich, who is poor? If riches bring you happiness, you are a poor man. If poverty brings you happiness, listen carefully. If poverty brings you happiness, you are a poor man. If riches brings you happiness, you are a rich poor man. Because both are poor. You are dependent on something. You are happy to be poor, happily poor. Happy to be rich, happily rich, no problem. But if poverty brings you happiness, so you want everybody to be poor. It's like I have lost my tail, so I want everybody to lose their tail. Wonderful. I am poor, so everybody must be poor. So whoever is enjoying a life, who is having Ferrari, who is having Martin Aston, who has got the best Bugatti, or who has the hilltop flats and castles, they are all useless, indulgent people. Ostentatious lifestyle, because I am with a no cloth or one piece of cloth, therefore the whole world must move on one piece of cloth. Very nice. Or because I am the one who is the top boss, I have the best houses, I own an island, an airstrip and executive jets and the super yachts and all that, so everybody must have it. You must not guess. Manasija paritushte. Kodhani karidari. You be happy with yourself, then you choose. I want to have everything, struggle, happily struggle. I don't have nothing, dump it. To have nothing, what should you do? Dump it? What is there to dump? If you have nothing and nothing, you walk out. But sitting down, but renouncing, don't tell everybody, you know what all I gave up in my life? Oh, so you still hold them in such high price that your renunciation must be recognized. To what all things you have given up, give me a break, dump yourself. When you wash your, sweep your house, collect all the garbage and dirt, do you say, I am renouncing the dirt? Am I renouncing the dirt? It's useless. For my happiness, what is that is useful? For me being me, what is that is useful? Nothing. So renouncing what? You live in a palace, untouched. You live in a hutment, untouched. Palace doesn't bring you arrogance. Hutment doesn't bring you inferiority. I'm the monarch. The Rama goes to forest, the king moves. Wherever you are, why jest? What why jest? There is no why jest. Why jest? You are the wisdom, you are the happiness, absolutely. So bhikshu va bhupati va. Whether you are chosen to be a bhikshu, renunciate, ordinary, mendicant, wandering monk, bhupati va, a beggar. Why monk? It must be a monk. You have to be a beggar. This is uniforms. Don't make these uniforms, monk. Why is monk? It doesn't, it's a beggar, ordinary person. Wrapped up with these clothes, suddenly he becomes a monk. How many poor people in this world? Are they worshipping? Is there anybody worshipping them? No, but put on these around. Okay. That is why clothes have gained notoriety. You understand? Because if you associate this only with the poverty, now suppose you are a very rich person and you put on this cloth, ostentatious. You understand how you are completely condemned by these ideas? Be the self. Bhikshu va bhupati va. Nishkamas sobhate. But whether you are mendicant with nothing, beggar or bhupati, everything, nishkama. They can see your poverty, they can see your prosperity. Can they see your desirelessness? Who can see? Can you prove your desirelessness to somebody? Please prove it. Please prove it. It's a wasting of time. The person who has never seen it will not understand the language that you speak. And you try to find out if somebody is desireless, unless you are, you cannot know it. And if you are one, you don't want to find out. It doesn't matter. The story of Janaka, told you so many times in this context. There is a renunciate monk or whatever it is, he was moving around, mendicant. And he goes to Janaka's place because everybody says Janaka is a wise man, enlightened, awakened person. He goes to Janaka and sees he is living in palace, sitting on the golden throne, surrounded by all prosperity. So he challenges right away. You claim yourself to be a wise man and you are surrounded by all these ostentatious things, luxuries of all kinds. Janaka heard that and pretended to be very angry and just commanded the guards, throw this man into prison for his insolence, arrogance, challenging the king. throw him, but one condition. 7th day he shall be beheaded because he has insulted the emperor. But for 7 days, every day he shall have the privilege of having lunch with me. On 7th day he will be beheaded. Because he has lived a life of mendicant, I will provide him everything. That was the command. He was put in the prison. That is how the story goes. So, first day, second day he came for the lunch, third day, fourth day, fifth day, sixth day, 7th day he has to be beheaded. And the king, every day was royal lunch, but that day was farewell lunch. Hundreds of varieties. Hundreds of varieties. In a story, why should we be poor? Hundreds of dishes, you don't like it? Thousands of dishes. You don't like million dishes. It's all right. Story, no? Anyway, so, hundreds of dishes prepared. Huge table, all gold and diamond studded. Then the vessels comes up, again all jewel studded vessels. Everything was brought. Then King, Janaka and the man sitting down, one after another, 1 course, 2 course, 3 course, everything. How many course? 100? 200? You choose, okay? Long, many course of dinner over. And then, at the last, the sweets are also finished. Then the Janaka asked, so, revered sir, how was the lunch? The man never expected this. He said, he didn't say anything. He said, sir, how was the lunch? How was the food? All the varieties of vegetables, the dishes, the food, the rice, the sweets. What do you think? How was everything? This man keeps quiet and he's also a sensitive person. He said, oh, king, you must be really insensitive. You know, after this lunch, I am going to be beheaded. Do I care whether it was spice or no spice, salt or no salt, boiled or not boiled, good or bad? It was an emerald plate or a gold cup. Then Janaka said, it means, even while you are eating all these things, you are not eating. He said, no, my mind is in execution. I was just eating, but my mind is in execution. Then Janaka said, oh revered sir, that is how I live in this palace. I live in this palace, my mind is in myself. Bhikshu va bhupati va, doesn't matter. Ostentatiousness is not ostentatious when you are simple in your existence. Poverty is not poverty when you are rich in your existence. But the average person will pass judgment according to what things you have, what you do, where you look, what cars you have or you don't have. That is why to impress people for a simple life, you can have everything simple, but you are a most complicated person. Very smiling, inside insidious disposition. Only you can know for yourself. This is a picture inside out. That's why if you are aware of yourself, it makes no difference what the whole world says. You are who you are. And if you are ignorant, even if the whole world worships you, oh wonderful speaker, wonderful that you know that you'll be going crazy inside because you know you don't know nothing, you don't know anything whatsoever. So vikshurva bhupatirva niskama sovade. Why? Bhaveshu galitayasya sobhana asobhanamati. Underline that. Nishkama sovade. Bhaveshu yasya matihi galita. Whose mind has finished, transcended, in a sense, yeah, this is a huge fancy word I don't want to use. Whose mind has no consideration of what? Bhaveshu, in everything of life. Living, non-living, action, perception, whatever. Shobhana, asobhanamati, that something is good, something is evil. Something is right, something is wrong. Nothing in this universe, in the relative universe, listen carefully, friends, the relative world, the relative universe, in the world of the roles, there is nothing absolute good, absolute bad. Vicious, virtuous. Moral, immoral. Sinful, sinless. There is no such stuff. It all depends. Yesterday I gave that example, right? 100 examples you can give. A stone, good or bad, this is good or bad, you know it. Now you know, you will not take anything. There is a Jain Buddhism story on that. Jain story is there. One day, the story is like some king goes there, the monk goes somewhere, the king says, okay, tell me in my hand what is there? Anything living or non-living? The monk smiles, the master, the person smiles. Yes, it depends on you. Why? Suppose it's a living bird in your hand. If I say living, you kill it. If I say not living, you fly it. So is it living or not living? Which side of the room is this? Which side? This side of the room. Which side is this? Is it left side or right side? Back side or front side? From my side, right. From your side, left. Somebody is looking this way, back side. Looking that way, front. So is it left, right, front, back, top or bottom? Without a point of reference, there are no sides. That is why one country's enemy is other country's patriot. One man says he is the Purple Heart, Victoria Cross, Paramavira Chakra, Ashoka Chakra. Other country, you are cut into pieces, thrown into dogs. You understand how human beings treat? You create a border, you create patriots and enemies. You create a border, you create trespassers. There is a time when this ashram was purchased, 1985, there was not a single wall anywhere. From the road to sea, one property, 200 acres. To come to our land, we used to come everywhere walking as we like. Now, trespassing. What happened? Land has not changed, people have changed. Boundaries have come up. Individuality is the worst boundary. Likes and dislikes, good and bad, right and wrong, religious, secular. Huge, huge. How many boundaries you have? More boundaries you have, more trespassers will be there, and more transgressors also will be there. Somebody trespasses, you transgress. Borderless universe. Individuality is not. That is why Bhagavad Gita, it's so nice. Yasya nahankruto bhava, buddhir yasya nalipyate, hatva pisa naiman lokan nakaroti nalipyate. You can't believe the celebration of wisdom, almost the point of like a perversion in the eyes of the ignorant. Hey Arjuna, yasya nahankruto bhava. For a person, hey Arjuna, the person for whom there is no such idea that I do, I see, I hear. See, hearing, touching, being conscious. Buddhiryasya nalipyate, who doesn't get involved, identifies with anything. Such a person, hatva pisa iman lokan, even if she kills, it's extreme, the whole generation, everybody, na karoti na lipyate, neither it does anything nor he gets affected by anything. Meaning thereby, it's a hyperbole, it's a prasansa. Arthavada represents that. Not that the fellow is going to kill somebody. Meaning, doing anything. See, Pashyannapi na pasyati, Shrunnannapi na sajati. Pashyannapi na pasyati. Listen carefully. Pashyannapi na pasyati. Seeing, he doesn't see. What to talk about? What he sees? Seeing, I don't see. What the eye sees, far away, no? You look at the flower, holy man. Look at the, go to the temple, look at the temple, holy man. Look at the erotic picture, bad boy. Oh, I see. Very good. The same spot, you take your eyes or shall you take your erotic picture? Oh, sun god, erotic sculpture. Beautiful. Think. Doesn't hear. Shrunnannapi na shrunoti. Listening, he doesn't listen. So, somebody is singing glory to him. You are so wonderful, you are so nice. Shrunnannapi na shrunoti. Or another, rascal, rogue, idiot. What he listens is far away. Listening, he doesn't listen. What do you listen? What is that? Do you understand? I hope you grasp. That is why you sit down there. Why he told me like this? You are Mr. Sthita Pragya. Established in yourself. See that, friends. You can begin with dualities. You can begin with perception, sensation, impressions, but you cannot end with that. Relatively, you begin with that. Ultimately, end up with yourself being who you are. Because, as I told you, in the relative world, Sovanavati, you cannot escape. Like when you're going on the road, there is a left side, there is a right side. You have to be there. Don't say, no, I am an Indian. There is no left side, no right side, only suicide. Three sides of the road, right? Everywhere in the world there are two sides, left side, right side. In India, left side, right side, suicide. Whichever you want to go. Where do you want to go? Suicide. In a sense, when in India, go on left side. When in Europe, go on right side. There is nobody in the road. In a country road, there is nobody. Which side you should go? Left side, right side. Hey, you see that. But this thing comes only when you put the boundaries. Relative world boundaries are needed. Functional boundaries needed. So you live with that. But that doesn't bind you. Boundaries are there, but that doesn't bind you. Like body is there, body doesn't bind you. Thoughts are there, the thoughts don't bind you. World is there, the world doesn't bind you. It has no capacity. Sorry. Unless you allow an object to overtake you, the object doesn't overtake you. So many times I told you. You create an alcohol, you make an habit of alcohol. Alcohol doesn't demand to be an habit, to be a habit. A sweet doesn't create a habit. You create a habit out of sweet. So, you create problem for yourself. That is why, Ishvara, that is why even the teaching is not making you free if the person helps you to make the teaching a habit, listening a habit, reading a habit, meditation a practice, meditation a habit. So new lifestyle now. Previously, listening to some, classical music was habit. Now listening to chanting only is habit. Previously, walking, driving, climbing was a habit. Now meditating is a habit. What is this? No habit. Understand? Habits, understand? Addictions, habits, dependencies, practices. They have their own connotations. Who you are is not a practice, a habit. a perception, a sensation. But learn to use your thoughts, your body, your mind. So niskama is not free from all thoughts. Thoughts are there, but thoughts don't rule your life. You rule the thoughts. It's a huge difference between a car driving you and you driving the car. When you drive the car, you reach destination. Car drives you, hospital. You drive the thoughts, fantastic. Thoughts drive you, what to do? Bhavishu, so just sobhana. So no more there is any considerations of this thought is good, that thought is bad. You know, in meditation only good thoughts should come. What is a good thought? Good thought is no thought. Very philosophical answer. A good thought is no thought. Oh. Then how are you responding? How you are talking? How do you remember to go back home? How do you want to do anything? Thought. And what is a bad thought? A thought which reminds me or drags me. Thought drags you or you allow the thought to drag you. Think this is a knife, good or bad? Knife is good or bad? You cut a throat, bad. You cut a vegetable, good. So knife is not good or bad. How you use it. Thought is good or bad? Money is good or bad? Anything. Please friends, see this. It is imperative and it is absolutely essential that the children who are growing up, we have to be given this idea of this is not right, that is right, this is right. You don't have to be. That is how we grow up. At a later stage, grow up. See what it is. Learn to use things as they are. Okay, we shall see that more later on. Just so when you see such a person, read, just we shall finished. Just read this tomorrow we shall, and next week. Kwa satchandyam kwa sankocha kwa va tattva vinishchaya nirvyajarjava bhutasya charitarthasya yoginah. The moment you see that somebody says there is no good, no bad, no right, no wrong, listen carefully. It's a very responsible statement. You see ultimately yourself who you are. Then this thing is wonderful. Or else, but the person who is trying to understand, if you give him this statement, he shall say, these are all wanton behavior, permissive behavior, absolutely indisciplined behavior. No. That's why he immediately says, it does not mean wantonness. Because sachandhyam ko sankocha. It's not a wanton behavior. When do you say that is a wanton behavior? Like a youngster demanding, I want to drink. The parents say, no, you can't drink. Why can't I drink? What is wrong with drinking? Somebody came like that. I asked him, why did you do that? Why can't I drink, Swami? I said, very good. Are you drinking or drinking drinks you? Of course I drink. If I want, I can drop it. I say, good. I'm telling you a real life story. I can drop it whenever I want. 25, 27-year-old, very young, very rich, with a gold bottle in the pocket, he will come with driving a fanciest car. And that's an alcohol bottle. His hands will be shaking like this. The driver has to put up the cigar and put it also. Rich people, they can afford. I say, you think you are drinking or drinking? We became very good friends. Somehow he liked me. Because, okay. I didn't condemn, never. So anyway, so he says, of course I drink. I said, do one thing for my sake. 7 days, don't drink. If you say you drink, no? 7 days, done. You have established your right to drink. Now established your right that you don't drink. You are free to drink. You demand that freedom to drink. Now also freedom does not mean only to drink. Freedom means to drink as well as not to drink. When I say I'm free to drink. If I can't drink, if you are worried, are you free or bound? So you say free to drink, all right? Okay. So you are free. So you are free to drink. You are also free not to drink. Now exercise that part of it. 7 days. Oh, no problem. He went. First day no drink, second day no drink, third day no drink. Oh, I got calls from the parents. Swamiji, you have done the miracle. This fool never touches, he is like a fish in the water. And now he has not taken for 2 days. Third day also. Fourth day, he himself calls her. Swamiji, very difficult. I said, what is difficult now? Can I have one only? Look, you think I am your master. You are the richer than the richest fellow. I don't have in a packet. I don't have a paisa in my hand. Useless fellow. You don't have to take permission from me. Why should you? I am wanting you to find out. You said that you drink. I can drop it when I want. Can you? No. That means, are you free to drink or you are bound to drinking? I said, just discover that. Continue. Thereafter, what you do is your life. If you drink, you die. You don't drink, you are alive. Choice is yours. But tell me, don't that bravado, I can drop it. Same thing when people say, we are free. Permissive people want. I am free, I can do whatever I want. Hey, free to do whatever you want is freedom. Also it includes free not to do whatever I want. Can you remain without doing it? If you can, swachandam, then you are really free. You are absolutely not controlled by your habits and emotions and all that things. That is why the wise man doesn't demand that I should be able to do whatever I want. What I should be. A free person shall not seek permission from others to do or not to do. He does it, doesn't do. Both ways is ready for consequences. I am a very happy man. I want to live under a tree, but you live in it. How does it matter? I want to live under a tree and die. How does it matter to you? No, I want to live in a palace. Okay, I work for it, I will work on a palace. Why are you want? What is why? I am taking the headache. What's your problem? You don't hurt anybody in the process. You don't hurt. That is why you can do, you need not do. No compulsion in life. Understand? Compulsion. What is compulsion? Without which you cannot live. This food, compulsion. I have to talk to somebody. I have to be with somebody. I have to drink this. I have to smoke. Ask yourself, is there any such thing in your life? I have to think this thought. I have to sit down like this. I don't have to sit down. No. Whatever comes in life, yadruchalava santushta, dvandvatito vimaschara, yadruchalava santushta, whatever comes in the life, fantastic. Why? My happiness no more depends upon presence or absence of anything, anybody in my life. That includes that my happiness doesn't depend upon in what condition my body is. Child, young, old, adult, crumpled, destroyed, getting destroyed, or very healthy, wonderful thoughts, suddenly no thoughts coming up. No restlessness of any kind. And once you are that, everything that happens to you in life becomes beautiful. Why? Because you are beautiful. Okay? Always meditation. We shall see more of it next class, next Saturday. Close your eyes. Just see these things, friends, and remember the pictures, the national geographic pictures. They bring it from outside. You may or may not be there. The pictures about yourself, the word pictures, the thought pictures, written words, spoken words, words that you think over, are all pictures. You are the original. That's will last forever and ever. Million more words will be spoken, millions of more words will be written, million minds will think about it. You remain the same, now and forever, here